everyone. I'm Sheriff Paul Laney, the retired sheriff from Cass County, North Dakota, the current Vice President of National Sales for Turnkey Corrections, and you are listening to Jail Talk. And as you can tell, we are in our mobile studio. We are on the road, and we are at the National Sheriff's Association's annual conference, the big event every summer. This year we are in Kansas City, Missouri. It's been an awesome event so far, and I am really excited to introduce this lady sitting beside me today because she's kind of a big deal right now. She is Sheriff Vanessa Crawford from Petersburg, Virginia, and she is the National Sheriff of the Year. The National Sheriff's Association has an annual award that they give out to one sheriff in the country. That is one sheriff in the country over all 3,080 plus sheriffs gets selected for this prestigious award. And you are it.
And I am grateful. I feel blessed. I'm very humble. And I thank you and Turnkey for everything that you have done for us so far, me, my family, to make this award happen.
So, for those that are not aware of it, Turnkey Corrections sponsors the National Sheriff of the Year Award. It's actually called the Ferris E. Lucas National Sheriff of the Year. It was named after Ferris E. Lucas, a longtime legend here at the National Sheriff's Association. And each year in January, a committee gets together from the applicants that are submitted and chooses who they feel best represents this organization. A lot of thought goes into this. I know because I'm on the selection committee, so I get to be part of that diligence and part of that selection. And I can't tell you how excited I was when we took a unanimous vote for you. So that was pretty cool. And and we're going to talk a little bit about you and why that unanimous vote happened, because you have a pretty impressive resume. So that's why we're sitting here today. We are very, very proud to sponsor that award. We've sponsored it now for a number of years, and we'd like to continue sponsoring for many, many, many years to come, because it's just a neat thing for us to be involved with NSA that way. And, every year we get to hand that prestigious award, and tomorrow we get to stand on stage and hand you that prestigious award. So it's a pretty cool thing. So tell us a little bit about your office, where you're from in Virginia, and actually, let's tell us a little bit about you yourself. Let's learn about Vanessa, then we'll talk the shop stuff.
All righty. Well, I'm Vanessa Crawford. I am from Petersburg, Virginia. Have been sheriff for 17 years. I'm in my 17th year. I am married. We're a blended family, and together we have 5 children, 15 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren. 3 of the grandchildren are with me this week.
They
which
are.
Is so exciting.
I got to meet them at the airport, and right. They kind of learned real quick, grandma's a big deal.
Yeah, they're as excited as I am. I am an only child of an educator. My father was deceased when I was 16 months, and my mom never remarried. So having the big family has just been a wonderful, wonderful undertaking because there are so many kids and grandkids and great-grandkids now that when we get together, it's, just nonstop everything. But my office is...
Let me ask you this one. What called you to the sheriff's world? What called you to law enforcement? I always love to hear sheriff stories about what brought them into the sheriff world.
Well, I'm going to date myself here now, but in 1978, I was hired in the Virginia Department of Corrections as a counselor. And I rose up through the ranks to superintendent senior and retired with 28 and a half years of service as a superintendent senior. In that capacity, I ran male facilities and female facilities. I retired after that 28 and a half years, stayed retired for 3 years. But even during the end of my service with the Department of Corrections, I had been being called saying, run for sheriff, run for sheriff, run for sheriff. And I kept saying, no, because I'm not old enough to retire, and if I don't get reelected, I'm out of a job.
Right.
So after about 3 years of being retired, I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I've been there ever since. I'm in my 5th term. And it's been an incredible journey. When I started, we had 2 jails. But in 2015, in terms of economics, our city decided to close our jails. At that time, I had a staff of 104. It was decreased down to 22.
It's a big cut.
But God has really blessed us because we had many, many community programs, and we were able to sustain them. So we did not lose anything. And we are now a part of a regional jail in Virginia, of which I'm chairman of that board right now.
Okay.
And all of the resources that we had using our jails inmates, we are still able to do that through that partnership. Incredible staff of 22, actually 23. I just hired a part-time person.
Okay.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah, and you tried to hire our Kylie away from us there.
Kylie's also.
She just blatantly. So Kylie's our project manager, who's a rock star here at Turkey.
Yes, she is.
She made all this happen for you, and she thanks us by trying to hire her away from us.
No. I would never.
And I would try to hire her away too. I'm just saying that. But I had to give you a hard time. That was pretty funny. I'm like, hey, I'm right here. You can't take her.
But I tell you what, Kylie is a detail-oriented person.
Yes, she is.
And she pulled this flight, hotel, everything. She pulled it together so famously and so easily that you would think, well, I guess she kind of can do it in her sleep.
Yeah, pretty much so. She can work some magic. And then when all the flights changes, as we all know, everything's kind of happening kind of crazy with the airports. All your flights changed, and then we scrambled for the pickup. And still got to surprise you with a pretty cool pickup.
Sure did.
So yes, we met her at the airport with a 10-passenger limo and kind of threw out the red carpet. And you deserve it. And then we got you here, and NSA threw a little surprise for you. Jessica and her team, and we were waiting for you. And the executive director himself was there. The president this year, Vernon was there. So. We just wanted to do it right for you. We wanted you to realize how appreciative we are of this award, and it's a big deal to win it. You're one of 3,080 plus sheriffs right now in this country, and you are the National Sheriff of the Year, and it's just such a neat thing. What does that mean to you to know that you're that one this year?
I'm still trying to pitch myself, having to pitch myself. It's an amazing feeling, and I know you know that because you've been the Sheriff of the Year.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just really humble. I'm grateful, and being the first female and being African American just makes it that more humbling, and makes me that more grateful to have received this award.
If you look at as we all got to review your resume and the packet that one of her former staff members, who's since retired, but submitted it on your behalf, and which was kind of neat because anytime your people do it for you, you don't really even know it right away. You kind of already won. Just the fact that they thought that much of you to do that. That's how I felt, and I didn't at any time really think I was going to be selected. You're looking at the quality of sheriffs in this country, and then to get that, just like you, I got called out of a committee meeting, and you're standing there, and you're like, what? I am the National Sheriff of the Year, and you're right, that feeling is so humbling.
It is.
And also that responsibility, then that for that next year, you're the one, that you carry that, and you're representing our brother and sister sheriffs, and it's pride, it's humbling. It's pressure in a sense because you got to go out and show them why they picked you. And looking at your resume, it wasn't real hard to pick you. Your resume speaks for itself. Some of the programs you are so actively engaged in your community. You're so actively engaged in your organization. You're so actively being progressive as a sheriff and trying new things. And I remember just reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, when she's sleeping, she got 15 grandkids, on top of everything you do, you must time your sleep till when you can.
I don't sleep much.
I bet.
My staff, they get texts and emails throughout the night. They're like, "When are you sleeping? I'm like, when I wake up and I think of something that we need to do or get accomplished, then I just take care of it right then, so I don't have to worry about doing it later. But I also realize that it's important to make time for God and make time for your family. So I temper what I do for the sheriff's office, for my community, with what I must do for my family, because they sustain me. They have held me up all of these years, along with my staff. Had I not had things in order, I know I would not be sitting here today. So, again, when I got called out of the committee meeting, I felt like I was being called to the principal's office the first time.
I remember we were standing kind of right behind when they came to get you.
Yeah, and I didn't see you at first.
And you didn't see me.
I'm like, oh, Paul's here.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't going to miss that. But that was, like you said, having been there, knowing how that impact is. You and I have known each other for so many years and become such good friends.
That's right.
And I have so much respect for you as a sheriff, and it just was neat to see, to be able to go along. Kylie was with me then too.
I was so focused because I didn't see you at first. I saw the president, and he was saying, and it was, he was shaking my hand, and people were coming up, but I think it was in a fall.
Yeah, you had pretty much that shocked look on your face, like, did you just tell me what you just told me? And I remember it well, and I just had a big grin on my face, because it was just neat to see it. I knew what you were feeling, I knew what you were thinking, and I got to give you a big bear hug, and you kind of came back to reality, and here you are. And tomorrow you get your actual award. We get to hand that to you. That trophy is amazing, but they handcrafted it. There's only so many of them made. They're just for Sheriff of the Years, and I know I look at mine every time I see mine, and I just think, wow, what an honor. What do you think? Let's talk a little shop a little bit. What do you think is the biggest thing facing the sheriff's world right now? There's so much coming at us around this country. What's the one thing that Vanessa Crawford sits and thinks about her office and thinks about the sheriff's world? What do you think is one of the biggest things we need to deal with right now?
I think when I think about my office, I think about staffing, retention. It's very hard to recruit in this law enforcement era right now.
Yes, ma'am,
because of everything that's going on. People don't understand when you start talking about defunding the police. They don't understand what you're really asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's...
You're not making a community anywhere safer by defunding your police. We could do a whole topic on that. I bet you and I could do an hour show on how dangerous that is.
That's correct, yeah. But for me, retention, and many of the people that are with me now were either there when I arrived, or I hired them shortly after I arrived.
Okay.
So all of them are looking at retirement, many of them. So again, recruitment, retention. And if you don't bring the salaries up for sheriffs and deputy sheriffs, you're not going to have anybody in the field, because it's such a different kind of career that you must want to be here.
Well, there's such a hot market out there for people in every walk of life that they're getting paid well. They're not having to work weekends and holidays and deal with the things that we have to deal with in law enforcement. So that pool is getting so hard to draw from.
Exactly. And I know several sheriffs in Virginia said that they had people to leave them to go to be managers at McDonald's because of money, as well as health insurance.
Right.
That's an increase.
That's a big thing.
Money, an increase in money too. And so with the salaries as they are, and then having to pay insurance out of those salaries for your family, and mortgage, and auto insurance, and everything else, food, transportation, car notes, there's not a whole lot of money left at the end of the month. So people are leaving. And then again, with the climate that we're in for law enforcement, it continues to be a problem with recruitment and retention.
Well, we're coming to the end of the show, but I want to give you the platform to our audience, and And to everyone out there, just your final words, any words of advice, or just what's on your mind, or just how you feel. Well, you have the mic, and just what would you like to say to everybody out there watching and listening on the show?
Well, I am still on cloud nine. I'm excited. I thank Turnkey, Paul, the National Sheriff's Association Awards Committee, everybody, Kylie, everybody who has been involved in this whole process. I am just so grateful and humbled by the opportunity to serve as the National Sheriff of the Year this year. And I can assure you that everything that I will do everything to maintain the integrity of the Sheriff's Office.
Well, anybody that knows you knows that's not an empty promise. Anybody that knows you will carry those words forward. So, Vanessa, I cannot tell you, Sheriff, how fun it's been to have you on the show today, to get a chance to hang out with you and talk about the award. Like I said, we're so proud to be the sponsor of it, but we're going to give it to somebody as classy as you. It just makes it extra special.
And I also can never forget my family and my staff, because without them, I would not be sitting here.
Amen. They're the ones that make us look good.
Yes.
We just go be the faces that receive all the accolades,
That's right.
Amen. Well, as we always like to do here at Turnkey Corrections and on Jail Talk, I want to give a little shout out, and I'm going to give a shout out to your staff. You have an amazing leader here, and as I know, and many of us have been in these seats, as we just said earlier, we succeed because of the people behind us and the people that support us. So our shout out this show goes to all of your staff back home. We're carrying the torch while you're here showing off what a special office that you have. So
much.
That is our shout out. And if you'd like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe to Jail Talk, go to our web pages, and like I said, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, give us some comments. We'd love to know what's on your mind and what we can do with the next shows. So this is going to conclude our day. I've just been tickled pink to be able to sit here with you.
Thank you.
And we will be hanging around the next couple of days, and we'll have some fun now.
That's right.
Amen.
Thank you.
You gotcha. So this is Sheriff Paul Laney, and we will see you next time on Jail Talk.